YouTube podcast world. What's good, family? You already know the name, Pays and Plays podcast here. We're gonna go ahead and give y'all that week 15 NFL picks and predictions, man. I'm so simple, bro. Hit the like button, subscribe, pass the run around. Last week, if you were on Patreon, NFL Sunday, we went undefeated. Clean sweep, 5-0. We finally got a sweep. So listen, Patreon, by the way, I am doing a special discounted code for the holidays. Okay. You get 20% off. Type in pays 11. You get it all the way to the new year. So this runs all the way into the new year. Patreon starts at $9. I think the next one is like 19. 20% off that. And by the way, to my Patreon users, they will tell you last night with college basketball, I had some picks. We went undefeated on that. So the last 2 days, or about the last 3, 4 days, gap wise, 9-0. Can't make this up. If you want to see it, get at me. I'll show you that I actually bet those games. All right. So link in description, Patreon, 20% off for the holidays. Come get these locks. Anyway, though, let's get right into it. We got Thursday night football, which is actually my birthday, by the way. We got the Atlanta Falcons travel to Tampa Bay, take on the Buccaneers. Buccaneers 4.5 point favorites. Public alert, public alert. You heard it first. The public is loving the Buccaneers. So this is what I'm going to do. You know me. I'm going to take the Falcons to cover, Buccaneers to win. And I have a feeling that this number is getting juiced up to where if we get Atlanta plus 5.5, I definitely be on plus 5.5 with Atlanta. Listen, this division game, these two have always played very close competitive games. And the way that the Buccaneers defensively, there's no defense. I'll just be honest. Unless you're talking about Vita Vea, that's maybe the only defense they have, right? And so long as you avoid running to the B gap and A gap, you can hand the ball off to the outside and run up. Dog, you can do all of that on this team, okay? This defense isn't stopping anybody. I know Kirk Cousins is the quarterback, and I know that's a concern when you think about the Falcons, but even with Bijan, with the fumbling problems he's been having, he can run outside. He can literally run outside the gap, the C gap of this team. Algier can be the guy that can handle the B gap and the A gap runs. And I mean, I know there's no Drake London, but I got something for y'all though. I'm also going with Kyle Pitts over 59.5 receiving yards. Kirk Cousins, this is his favorite guy. Kirk Cousins loves throwing to Kyle Pitts. I don't see a linebacker who's going to cover Kyle Pitts, especially if he's in between, going between, you know how it is, but them little cut routes, bro, when you go straight down the middle. It's literally wide open for Kyle Pitts to do that against this Buccaneers team. And listen, I like Baker, but this injury, you start to wonder if it's starting to really show with him. And listen, I like Bucky Irvin. He's kind of been the staple to kind of help this team out, but it's just too many injuries, man. We don't even know if Tristan Wirfs will be playing this game too. And the one thing that, even though I don't really care for Atlanta, and even though they kind of broke my heart a couple times this year, their defense is not actually that bad. They're actually an underrated unit on this team. It's just that, like I said, you have to deal with Kirk Cousins, and you're going to see a lot of pistol formation stuff. But I think this Buccaneers defense is just downright trash, bro. We saw what New Orleans was able to do. And by the way, I did take New Orleans plus 8.5 last week. You know why? Because everyone was on the Buccaneers. So you got the Buccaneers as a third week we're talking about now as a big public favorite. I'm going to be fading them again for a third time, but I definitely love the Kyle Pitts over 59.5 receiving yards. Next game, we got the Buffalo Bills at the New England Patriots. Patriots plus 1.5 point underdogs. I'm going to lean towards the Bills to win and cover, only because I know the Bills have to be desperate. And, if they win this game, you can at least say they split and they can somewhat get a hopeful chance for the AFC East division. But this Bills team with Josh Allen and, James Cook, I think alone they can easily win this game. Now, what concerns you is Buffalo does do a lot of these slow starts, right? We seen it last week with the Bengals. We seen it a week before with Pittsburgh when they started off slow. Second half, they realized who they were. I believe we're getting Joey Bosa back. So that will be a little bit more of a boost. And listen, I'm not sleeping on this Patriots team, okay? But their offensive line issues is still a problem when your best player is Will Campbell, and I think he's still on the injury report. So that's also a concern. I'm not going to be the one to sit there and downplay their skill players like most people. Like, I think Diggs is okay for what he's been doing. Travion Henderson has been that guy. I think that's maybe their best, besides Drake May, their overall best offensive player. So I will actually maybe leaning towards his props too. Travion Henderson receiving props. Oh, well, rushing props. But he does catch the ball at the backfield too, so I wouldn't be mad at that. But that might be a sneaky play. But like I said, I lean towards the Bills to win and cover. Next game, we got the Washington Commanders at the New York Giants. Giants 2.5 point favorites. I'm gonna go Giants to win and cover. This game's tough because we know it doesn't mean nothing. But I have a problem. If I'm Dan Quinn, dude, just sit Jane Daniels out. Don't put him back in that. At this point, bro, shut him down for the rest of the year. You and let him get ready for next year, bro. Like there's no other clear cut point to it, bro. Like Mariota is a solid, serviceable backup quarterback. I think honestly, if you ask me, they kind of played damn near the same. So I don't really see why would you even try to rush him back, knowing that this guy had a whole hyperextended elbow injury. I don't understand it, and this Washington team is kind of crumbling right now. So don't get me wrong, though, the Giants are going to be looking for a new head coach, but I just know Dart is a damn baller, bro, and I think they're probably the reason why they're going to win this game. I would throw a dart at Jackson Dart to score an anytime touchdown too, because this Washington defense is no good. Bar Soto. And you know what? I actually might lean towards a team total over for the Giants because this Commanders team is garbage, bro. Next game, we got the New York Jets traveling to Duval to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars 13 and a half, almost two touchdown favorites, 13 and a half. I'm going to go Jets to cover, Jags to win. I mean, I think we might get Justin Fields again. So if we get Justin Fields, he'll make it competitive. And by the way, I might as well look into Justin Fields rushing props, bro, because you know this pass rush for Jacksonville is going to get after him. So I feel like there's no hope if he doesn't run out of the pocket, you know, does what he does best. So I would lean towards the Jags on a teaser, but I don't know if you want to tease that many points though. You're okay, you know what I'm saying? Because if you do 6 or 7, you still it's still kind of a nasty number. So yeah, Jets to cover, Jags to win. Next game, we got the LA Chargers at the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs 4.5 point favorites. I am going to say this now. I am done with Kansas City putting any investment into Kansas City until I see them as an underdog. But for this game, I'll say Chiefs to win and cover. I mean, this Chargers team, I mean, they got lucky, by the way. They won Monday night. But it's the fact that we already know about the hand injury with Herbert, but this offensive line is like, we know how garbage it is when Jalen Carter isn't even in the game and the Eagles were still getting Justin Herbert. I mean, like literally, their best defensive lineman was out and still got dominated. I don't know how you're gonna handle Chris Jones, who's at least a top 3, top 5 defensive tackle. How are you gonna handle that if you can't handle the backup for Jalen Carter? You get what I'm saying? In this game for the Chiefs, this is I mean it's desperation every game. I mean it was desperation against Houston. So you lose this one, you're already eliminated to be considered the AFC West champions. You're already eliminated for that. You lose this game, you're done. So like I said, if Kansas City makes the playoffs out of all of this, that's when I might be putting some money back on them. But as of now, bro, I'm staying put. Next game, you got the Baltimore Ravens at the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals 2.5 point underdogs. Give me the Bengals to win and cover. I have a feeling this is not going to be a popular pick this week because everyone feels like Lamar Jackson and the Ravens should win this game. And I honestly agree. They should. But I feel like the Bengals at this point, and it being an AFC North showdown, these games are nasty. We saw it on Thanksgiving. I feel like at this point, for Joe Burrow and the boys, you're gonna have to be. You're trying to play spoiler. You're trying to fight for at least some crap talking too. But I have a feeling that this is just to play spoiler at this point. And if you beat the Ravens, and let's be quite honest with you, Lamar Jackson has not looked good the last few weeks. I didn't like that their game plan last week was let's run, run, run. When you can actually take some chip shots at Pittsburgh, and they just did not seem to do that. But one thing I will look at for the Ravens, um, what's his name? Mark Andrews. I had a little brain fart. Mark Andrews. I would lean towards his over receiving props. I know likely gets the ball a lot too, but the Bengals do give up a lot of yards to tight ends. If you watch that game against Buffalo, Kincaid and Dawson Knox was eating. So I definitely do like leaning towards the tight end to get over his receiving props. And I actually like the Bengals on a teaser. I think they went outright, but 2.5. I mean, why not tease it up, right? Next game, we got the Cleveland Browns at the Chicago Bears. The Bears. Bears 7.5 point favorites. I'm going to go Bears to win and cover. Okay. I see 7.5 and I get it right. If you're saying, well, Cleveland has a shot. We saw what Shador did, even though they lost. I agree, but like, I don't know about this Browns team, bro. I feel like Stefanski is just trying to sabotage Shador, but now he can't. So now he has to be the starter. I mean, because look, bro, Shador had a good game against the Titans, and maybe that's what it was too, was the Titans. But this Bears team, they need to get back to the basics, and they actually ran the ball pretty well against the Packers. I will say that. They had the Packers defense on their toes, but I have a feeling that with this game right here, I'm just gonna go with the Bears to win and cover, and I honestly will sprinkle. Well, I'll put it on a teaser. How about that? Not a sprinkle. Just put it on a teaser. The over under is like 34.5 or some shit, bro. Like that's ridiculously low. A game like that, bro, I gotta go over. I know it's not popular, but like that shit is just ridiculously too low. 34.5 total, 39, whatever. There's no way I can go under. 43, 44.5. But 30, anyone wants to hit 30s, bro, I can't do it. You just gotta go over because it could be 3 touchdowns within the first half, bro, and then the over is pretty much right there, right? Next game, you got the Arizona Cardinals at the Houston Texans. Texans 9.5 point favorites. Give me the Cardinals to cover, Texas to win. I do want to tell the public this might be a big public play on the Texans because this is what people are going to say. Well, they beat Kansas City last week at Arrowhead, and Arizona is just not good. Look what they did to the Rams, what the Rams did to them. And I won't disagree with that, but Jacoby Brissett is just as much as he's been taking hits, bro. That guy still stays in the pocket and tries to make plays. You have to worry about that. That's the person you're gonna have to worry about. I know Houston has a good defense. I know they've been playing kind of solid lately, but at least to cover, I think this is the Cardinal side right here. It's not going to be a popular pick, and I already know it, and I already understand it. But I think with Houston, knowing that the last few games they got is more serious, long as they win the game, I don't even think they give a shit, to be quite honest with you. So that's why I'm saying be cautious, all right? I know they got the best defense. The Arizona defense isn't completely ass. Okay, they're not completely ass, but they're going to give C.J. Stroud and his offensive line a little bit of some problems, though. So just that's just my personal opinion. All right, next game, we got the Oakland. Why do I keep saying this? The Las Vegas Raiders at the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles 11.5. Some books I'm seeing 12.5 point favorites. I'm gonna say Eagles to win, Raiders to cover. I mean, who the hell really knows, bro? I mean, Jalen Hurts. I don't know if his confidence is just down. I mean, it's completely down. It's below down. Like 4 interceptions. Then you fumbled it from that interception. I mean, dude, I don't know what's going on with Jalen Hurts. I do think it's crazy that if you want to bench him, that is kind of ridiculous. I do agree, but I'm not backing this Raiders team either, bro. I'm not pounding my chest on that spread cover against the Broncos that I should have fucking lost, right? I'm not gonna like brag about that shit, but this offensive line for the Raiders is complete dookie. Dookie. So I don't even, I mean, if anything, I will lean towards maybe a Las Vegas Raiders team total under. It's just because I know this Eagles team, bro. The trenches is gonna dominate the Raiders on the offensive side. They're gonna dominate them. So that's probably why I will lean towards the under on the team total with the Raiders. Next game, we got the Carolina Panthers keep pounding at the New Orleans Saints. Saints plus 2.5 point underdogs. My heart tells me the Panthers. My heart tells me the Panthers to win and cover. They got at least split with the Saints. After the Saints went there and beat them, they gotta at least show up in this game. I just Panthers just not a good. They're not good as a favorite. And they're not a good team on the road, and that's also what's more concerning with the Panthers, right? So Tyler Shook, listen, what he did against Tampa was phenomenal to be a rookie. Like, I mean, he did more than what you can ask for out of him, but. This game, I just think the Panthers can get right. You know, they're coming off a bye. They kind of already seen the extra stuff that New Orleans just did. They just played them a few weeks ago too, so I'm sure they're gonna look at that and think about things to kind of help it better. But I'm going with the Panthers to win and cover. They win this game and cover easily if they run the ball right, and they gotta let Bryce Young be free. When he's able to look around and sling it, the dude looks pretty great. He has the potential to be a good quarterback. They just gotta let him be free, and he can't be overthinking. I know it's going to be in New Orleans. I know it's going to be in a ruckus environment, but they have to win games like this, especially when Tampa is losing. They have to win games like this. Next game, we got the Detroit Lions traveling to the west side. They traveling to Cali, take on the LA Rams. Rams 5.5 point favorite. Over under. I'm saying this for a reason. Over under is 54.5. I will lean Rams to win and cover because I think they can at least win by 6. This Lions team, and I do like the over. That's why I mentioned 54.5. I do see this going over. But I think the Rams, a team total on the Rams side, will go more over. Granted, I said this about last week, the Cowboys take the team total over against the Lions. That cashed. The secondary is just complete, like, decapitated, bro. Brian Branch now is out for the season. Kirby Joseph is looking like he's not playing this game. You already lose Terrion Arnold for the season. I mean, dude, you lost your 3, 4 corners in the season. I don't see it, bro. And Stafford is going to seek out revenge from the last few times the Lions has beaten them. I know he's thinking this. Come on. He's a former Lion. You think he's not going to be thinking about this shit, bro? Let's just be quite honest, right? And I know Jared Goff is coming back to LA, so it might be some fireworks both sides. Both sides have explosive players, so I see it going over 54.5. I love that more than picking a side, honestly, so that's why I mentioned the total. Next game, we got the Indianapolis Colts. Rivers at the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks 13.5 point favorites. Wow. Seahawks to win and cover. How does Phillip Rivers perform? Who the hell really knows, buddy? Who the hell knows? Who knows? Who knows what this guy's gonna do? You know what I'm saying? They couldn't call Cam Newton though, huh? See. Y'all blackballing Cam, bro. If this guy does dog shit this game, bro, I'm gonna be laughing like I should at least gave Cam a call, bro. I don't know what Phillip Rivers is gonna do. I think this Colts team is already past panic mode, bro. You know, and they don't have a first round pick. The guy you got for a first round pick in Sauce Gardner, I don't even know if he's gonna be playing this game too. He might be questionable. I haven't checked the injury report, but this Seahawks team, I think this is the caution part because they got a big game up next Thursday against the Rams. That is a big game for the division. So I think they might not be too focused. I'm not saying they're going to lose the game, but to cover by 14 points, I can see them winning by 10, realistically, even though I think they should cover because I don't know, bro. I don't know how this Colts team is gonna show up, is really what I'm saying. Next game, we got the Minnesota Vikings at the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys 6.5 point favorites over under 47 and a half. I'm leaning towards Cowboys to win and cover, but I am leaning more towards that total. That total is very interesting to me. 47 and a half. I do see Minnesota scoring some points, but we know their secondary is a little mid. We know Dallas fucking secondary is mid. That automatically tells me to go over. But I still see the Cowboys winning. Too much firepower compared to the Vikings, man. I like what J.J. McCarthy was able to do last week. And honestly, that's actually why I like the over because I do see Justin Jefferson getting some. I do see Addison getting some. Hell, Aaron Jones, every time he plays at AT&T, even as a Packer, look up the stats. It's been amazing. So 47 and a half, Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, them boys is going to get the plan. Oh, I think CD is a concussion protocol, so we're gonna have to be a little on the radar for that. But if you don't like the full game over, I will lean towards the Cowboys team total over. And lastly, we got the Miami Dolphins. Them boys is cooking. At the Pittsburgh Steelers, Monday Night Football, Steelers 3.5 point favorites. I really want to say Miami to win and cover. I like the 3.5 though. But I am leaning towards Miami to win and cover. 42 and a half is the over. So this is my thoughts. If Miami wins, the over cashes. You know Miami's going to score. Miami doesn't have the defense, however, is why I also have a concern them not picking them to win. Because I know Pittsburgh can drop possibly 20. If they drop anywhere from 24 to 27 points, and as long as Miami drops about somewhere from 17 to 20, the over and 42 and a half can hit. I realistically think that could hit. And actually, I slipped up. I didn't do one more game that I'm gonna do, and this is the end of it. And I'm gonna give y'all my teaser options. We got the Green Bay Packers. How can I forget about that game? At the Denver Broncos. Packers 2.5 point favorites. Over under is 42 and a half. I got the Packers to win and cover. And I actually like this over as well. 42 and a half, a mile high. Listen, I know what they're going to say, right? Both defenses are kind of elite. That's why the total is what it is. Yeah, but both teams can actually score in the mid 20s. If it gets anywhere to that low 20s to mid 20s, if it's a close game in the fourth quarter and it's like that, bro, that over is going to cash. So yeah, I actually do like the over more than I like the Packers to win and cover. Because when I look at the Broncos, they can actually run the ball, and that's actually one of the weaknesses for the Packers. Because I watched that game against the Bears. The Bears were able to run the ball on them, and that's what kept the Packers on their heels, bro. They weren't always full pass rush because of that. Bo Nix, I got my ways on Bo Nix. I don't think he's bad. I just think he's really average. But I guess average isn't bad if you're winning games, right? So, and this team does find ways to win in one possession games. That they are the modern day Kansas City Chiefs for this year. That's what they do. That's why I'm not shocked if they do fuck around and win this game off some weird shit. But 42 and a half, I do love that over. And as far as the teasers, I'm gonna have it up here too. Y'all can check it out. I got Bengals, Bears, Cowboys, Packers, and the Broncos over. So Bengals is like what 8.5. Tease it up to 8.5 with a 6 point teaser. Bears, you make it minus 1.5. Cowboys, they just got to win. And the over of the 42 and a half. Packers and Broncos. Tease that down to the over. Make it 36 and a half. All right. You guys, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, all of that stuff, man. And I have to think about this because yes, my birthday is tomorrow. Jesus, I'm 32. I wouldn't even imagine I was gonna get to 32 at one point. I ain't gonna lie to you. But yeah, man, it's just thankful to be alive, man, and see another year. We know some people don't get to see another year, unfortunately, man, and God be with them. But let's be thankful with the holidays and stuff coming up. Just have that gratitude in the back of your mind, man, because it could be a lot worse. No matter what situation you got going on in life, y'all, It could be 10 times worse. But keep that shit pushing, bro. Because hey, man, it only goes up from here. You feel me? Uh, as always, man. Let's be safe out here, man. Let's get this bread. You feel me?